My name is Mark Ramsden. I'm an entomologist at ADAS, and I'm leading the work on pests and natural enemies on the HDB strategic farms in 2020. The aim of this work is to observe the variation across the farms and to create a baseline to direct future monitoring. We know that everything varies in nature, and even if all the fields were treated in exactly the same way, we still expect to see variation in the types and numbers of insects found within and between fields. This is because they are influenced by things like the soil, the surrounding habitat, and the local weather. If we want to test ideas for reducing pests or increasing natural enemies, we have to monitor them in a way that enables to account for that natural variation. That is to say, we want to be confident that any differences we see are attributable to what we're investigating rather than as a part of that natural variation. Both strategic farms are installing floral strips to promote natural enemies. These strips will provide pollen and nectar for insects such as hoverflies, ladybirds, and parasitoid wasps known to reduce pest abundance. Once established, the impact of these strips will be assessed, but we won't necessarily expect to see benefits of the floral strips uniformly within or even restricted to the field that they're in. This is because the scale of impact will be dependent not only on the presence of the strip, but also things like its quality, what other resources are around the field, the number of pests in that year or the previous year, and so on. Ultimately, we want to be confident that if we find more natural enemies and less pests in a field with floral strips, it is because of those strips and not because we would have found more or less there anyway. The work we carry out this year, before the floral strips are established, will give us an insight into how the fields already vary and demonstrate the use of different monitoring techniques. Work in future years can then build on this to better understand the influence of floral strips and other management practices on pests and beneficials. We are using some really simple monitoring techniques so anyone can try them out for themselves. In the future, we hope that this will enable us to share data between farms so that we can learn together what best influences pests and natural enemies. If you would like to get involved, please contact me at mark.ramsden@adas.co.uk.